Yes, you read the title right. Prep is beginning. Actually, prep's already begun. It started yesterday, June 14th. And prep for what? You're probably asking. Because this is something I've never actually spoken about on my channel before, but now I'm putting it out there, I'm committing to it, I'm being held accountable by you guys. It's been in my head for a long time. I've always known that this was my plan for quite a while anyway, but now I'm making it public. I am going to be doing a bodybuilding show, but not yet. I am going to be competing in Men's Physique next year. So this year I am taking a test run. I've booked an expensive photo shoot, and I'm using my photo shoot as my show day. We're doing a test run. I'm going to do my absolute best to get to or close to stage ready condition for the photo shoot. I will be documenting the entire process throughout my YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe so you can follow along. Later on in the video I'll go through my starting point, why I'm doing a test run instead of just jumping straight into a show, so on, so on, so on. But I'm hungry, so let's get into meal one. And you guessed it, just because I'm now on prep, it does not mean I'm not going to be having my French toast in the morning. And in fact, because the calories and macros are so good and it is so filling and satisfying, I'm probably going to be eating even more of it. So, you know, there goes the diversity of content for the next 4 months or so. But anyway, because you haven't already seen me make this about 1,000 times, let's get into the sexy B-roll. You know the deal by now. We get the low-calorie bread, 6 slices today. We get the liquid egg whites, 250 grams today. We add lots of cinnamon, vanilla flavour drops to the egg whites, give it a good old whisk around. Then we dip the bread in the egg whites, put the bread onto a frying pan, wait for it to cook up, then repeat that process until we have a stack of deliciousness. And there you go guys, meal one on my prep looks pretty damn appealing if you ask me. Got 6 slices of low calorie, 50 calorie per slice bread with 250 grams of egg whites, and then I'm going to be absolutely smothering this with the absolute goat of 0 calorie syrups, the My Protein maple syrup. But remember guys, if you can't afford or can't access 0 calorie syrups, you can always make your own with one of my 0 calorie syrup recipes. Now, just because it is only my first week of prep, it does not mean I'm not hungry and not ready to absolutely demolish this. So I am going to go and eat this ASAP. But first off, the calories and macros for this whole plate are going to be up on the screen here. And guys, I promise you, this meal never gets old. If you're not on the French toast hype yet, then what are you playing at? So why am I taking a test run at this prep rather than just jumping straight into a bodybuilding show? Well, it's pretty simple really. I've never done it before. I've gotten lean, I've gotten like beach lean where you can see abs, you look pretty good, you look pretty lean, but I've never got stage competition level shredded before. It really is a whole other beast. It is the next level. It will be way harder and way more physically demanding just to get to that next level. But to be honest, it is one that I think I am ready for and I really want to give it my best go. So I'm taking this test run to learn about my body, learn some data, learn about my mindset so that next year I can really give it my best shot and hopefully not mess up too badly. Along the same lines, I also want to make sure it's something that I want to do. Competing in bodybuilding really is not just a matter of cutting some calories and jumping on stage, like a lot of people seem to think. They take it quite lightly, but you really shouldn't be. It is a serious commitment that can affect your life, your mindset, your attitude towards food, your job, your family, your relationships, and only some people are actually cut out to handle this, or at least handle it whilst doing well in their show. So I basically want to do this test run to make sure it is something I am truly ready for and will actually enjoy doing, because if I absolutely hate getting ready for a photo shoot, I'm going to hate getting ready for a show even more, and then I won't do it, even if I've told you guys I will. So today's full day of eating is going to be how I am kickstarting my test run prep. Why I'm on the floor? The real question is, why aren't you? On the menu for meal 2 is going to be some big ass wraps, and I'm going to be making... On the menu for meal 2 is going to be some big ass wraps, and I'm going to be making some big ass wraps. On the menu for meal 2 is going to be some big ass wraps, and... Fucking hell. On the menu for On the menu for meal 2 is going to be some big ass wraps, and I'm going to be taking full advantage of these new carb light wraps from Sainsbury's. Each wrap is only 127 calories with 15 grams of carbs and 7 grams of protein. That's a bit of a bargain if you ask me. Alright, so I'm going to be making 4 big ass wraps to keep me full until the next meal. Yes, 4. You know what, I was about to go into a voiceover about making these wraps, but you don't really need that for wraps, do you? So we'll just do it like this. Okay, so just lay out your wraps, and then we're going to create a nice, big, thick base of spinach, because remember, I'm allergic to lettuce. No joke. Then we're going to slice up some mushrooms for some extra volume. The next thing to add was supposed to be eggs, but as you can see, I am an idiot, and we've run out of eggs. So make sure you add eggs for your healthy fats, but today, no eggs. Now I'm just going to weigh out 45 grams of this pre-cooked chicken breast, and I'm going to add that onto the wraps. Top the chicken with some 0-calorie sauce. I've got my sweet chili sauce here. Cover that with some more spinach, just for even more volume. Really cram it down, and then we're good to go. And these are some big ass wraps. In fact, this is only 2 of them. A lot of people think that wraps actually are a very calorie dense option and not good for dieting. And that actually can be very true. If you just use a regular wrap, you put a bit of chicken and a bit of sauce and then you wrap it up nice and tight, yeah, it's very calorie dense. But if you're going for lower calorie wraps and you absolutely stuff them full of spinach, mushrooms, pepper, cucumber, whatever you like, and you go easy on the sauce and the meat, it is extremely high volume for the calories and very satisfying. Calories and macros for all 4 of my wraps today will be up on the screen here, including the eggs that I forgot, by the way. So, extremely good option when you're dieting. Don't sleep on the wraps. Get the volume in and you won't regret it. Prep them, you can take them with you anywhere. It's so easy, win, win, win. Alright guys, so in the background is some footage from my first pull session of the first mesocycle of my prep. I'm just coming from a deload, so volume and intensity are lower and then will gradually increase as the cut progresses. My recovery ability obviously won't be as good as when I'm in a surplus, so my overall training volume won't climb quite as high. However, I will still be pushing volume over the course of the prep to ensure that I maintain as much muscle as possible. I've also dropped some of the most systemically fatiguing movements in favour of ones which have a higher stimulus but less fatigue. So for example, removing deadlifts so that there's less actual loading, because they are extremely fatiguing, and I can swap those out for additional volume in other areas like rowing. On the cardio front, I've got absolutely 0 formal cardio planned. I am literally just following a daily step count, which I always hit, no excuses. If you've watched my content for a while, you probably already know that I do a lot of walking about, so my step count on this prep will be between 18 and 20,000 steps a day, which is fairly easy for me to hit. Sometimes I will use a treadmill to get those steps in, but I don't have formal programmed out cardio. If you've got any questions on that, let me know. Welcome back to the kitchen. We have had 2 meals so far today, so next up, you guessed it, is meal 3. This one is going to be using a not so secret lover of mine, cauliflower rice, and something that I was often called at school, chicken. Alright guys, back to the voiceovers after a very simple meal 2, but this one is still very simple. First off, we just need some cauliflower rice. You can either buy it in a microwavable bag, pre-made frozen bags, or you can make your own if you're poor like me. Just get yourself 250 grams of cauliflower florets. I'm using frozen ones. Put them in a food processor and blast them for 10 seconds or so until it's looking pretty ricey. Next up, we're going to prepare the shredded chicken. So add 200 grams of chicken breast into a nice hot pan and allow that to cook for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, flip it over, add some water to the pan and then put a lid over the chicken. The steam will keep it nice and juicy. Once the chicken's cooked through, use 2 forks to shred it up and then mix it into the cauliflower. While the cauliflower softens up, whack 250 grams of frozen mixed vegetables into the microwave for 6 to 8 minutes and then mix everything together. Season it with whatever you like. I'm using salt, garlic, paprika and barbecue seasoning, and then you are done. Now, if you've ever had cauliflower rice before, then you probably already know that it really is all about the seasonings. If you have it plain, then it's not going to do a lot for you. So make sure to be very generous with the 0-calorie sauces and the seasonings. But yeah, if you load up on those things, it is really, really good, especially for a meal that is so easy to prepare and just throw together in literally a matter of minutes. You could even make a huge batch of this, meal prep it for the week, set it out in containers, pop some in the freezer that you want for the later on in the week, put the next few days worth in the fridge, you're good to go. The calories and macros for the whole meal will be up on the screen here. And now we'll talk a little bit about my starting point for this prep. Alright guys, let's talk about my current condition and my current goals. Right now, if I had to guess, I'd say I'm around 15% body fat. I've got good definition in the top 4 abs and the bottom 2 are there, but they're a little bit fluffy. I've still got striations in my chest, my shoulders, when I'm doing exercises like cable flies, but when I'm just stood normally, there's nothing there. But when I get towards my photo shoot, I want to be close to, if not at, stage conditioning. I want there to be weird stuff happening all over my body. I'm planning to get to around 8% body fat at the highest. So that would be close to, but not at, stage condition. And that would mean if I am around 15% now, that means I'd be dropping about 7% body fat. It's going to be 14 weeks long, so that means around 0.5% of body fat weight loss per week. However, each week I will be aiming for more than that lost on my scale, because if I just lost ½ pound on my scale per week, I would not be losing half of my body fat percentage per week, because those two don't add up. Weight loss on the scale is not going to be purely fat. If I lose 7% of my body weight on the scale, I haven't lost 7% fat in real life. I won't be 8% body fat, because I will have lost things like water, just general food in my system from less food intake, bloat from bulking for so long. Another reason is because I can. I know that right now I have minimal diet fatigue, I'm ready to go, I'm motivated, and I'm definitely able to push harder than 0.5% per week. So why not? If I need to slow things down towards the end of the cut, then I can. I've bought myself some time. And if I don't need to slow things down, then awesome, I can get even leaner than planned. So because of all of this, I'm going to be aiming for around a 750 calorie deficit daily to begin with, which should put me right around 1.5 pounds weight loss per week. Not too bad. You'll find out at the end of the video what my actual total calorie and macro goals are for the moment. And it is time for the final meal of the day, the macro capper, the one that I have literally been waiting for since this morning, protein oats. Hey, I didn't promise you I was going to show you anything exciting or different or special today. I just said I was going to show you what I'm eating to get shredded, and that's what I'm doing, even if it is the same thing I eat all the time. But to be honest, to me at least, not much is more exciting than oats, so I'm excited. As you guys probably know by now, I like to finish off my day with a big, slow digesting, high carb meal, and there's a few reasons for this. One is that it helps me sleep. Just personally, I find that a lot of carbs before bed makes me sleepy, get better quality sleep, and also I train first thing in the morning, so really if you look at it, this is going to be my pre-workout meal, even if it is the night before. So in the near future we have a big old bowl of oats ahead of us. Let's go. Okay, it is time for oats, arguably the best time of the day. We're starting off with making a base from 140 grams of oats. Yes, I said we're going big here, and add in a ton of water. The more water we get the oats to absorb, the more filling and voluminous it's going to be, so even more filling to have on prep. So add a ton of water, microwave until it starts looking thick, and then leave it in the fridge all day to cool and thicken up. Boom. Now when you're ready to eat it, whip it out of the fridge, bang it in the microwave, get it nice and hot, then add 30 grams of protein powder, 10 grams of cocoa powder, and mix it very thoroughly. Take your time, because no one wants chunks of plain oats in their chocolate oats. Nobody wants that. Finish it off by topping with your favourite 0-calorie syrup, and voila. And here we have it, the big bowl, well, basically a tub in this case, of oats that I look forward to every single day. Prep or no prep, I'm having it and I'm loving it. As you can see, it's just come out of the microwave and it's still pretty watery. So all I do, bang it in the fridge, it will thicken up really nicely. Then when I'm ready to eat it, I whack it back in the microwave. Once it's hot, I'll mix in the protein powder, the cocoa powder, all of that, add in the 0-calorie syrup, and it's ready to go. It's incredible. It literally never fails to disappoint. So I'm going to pop this in the fridge, ready for later, and whilst it's cooling down, the calories and the macros will be up on the screen here. It goes nice and chocolatey, super thick, it will always fill you up, it never fails to disappoint. Like I said, I already know that I get a large amount of my daily calories and carbs at the end of my day and my last meal, which may sound strange to some people, and it's definitely not the way I'd recommend it for a lot of people, but for me and for my individual circumstances, I've found so far this is the best way for me. The benefits of improved sleep, satiety, adherence to the diet, and also just fueling my workout in the morning. Like I said, this is essentially my pre-workout meal. This is what I found works best for me. Anyway, I'm going to go now, and I'll see you tomorrow for a roundup, a summary of my full day of eating on prep. Okay guys, it is the next day. We are one day closer to the photo shoot, and am I shredded yet? No. But I am on track. My calories are substantially lower than I became accustomed to whilst I was on my massing phase, because I am aiming for quite a fast rate of fat loss, but I am still absolutely loving everything I eat. There is no reason not to. You can easily make delicious recipes like I showed you yesterday, whether your calories are low or whether your calories are high. So for everything I ate yesterday, we are looking at 2,176 calories. That is 192 grams of protein, 227 grams of carbs, and 46 grams of fat. My goal was 2,200 calories, 180 grams of protein, 268 grams of carbs, and 45 grams of fat. So I really wasn't too far off at all. If anything, the protein was a little high and the carbs were a little low, but provided the calories are in the right place, I'm still going to see the fat loss that I'm looking for. Guys, I hope you are as excited as I am to see how this photo shoot prep goes and see how just lean I can get in 14 weeks. And I hope you're excited to see how I do it and how I adapt and change my approach over time. Subscribe to the channel if you do want to follow along. If you do want to join in on my process, then make sure to check the link in the description to my online coaching. I can coach you and we can get shredded together this summer. I think that'd be pretty sick. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post new videos every single week, so join the team and don't miss out. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. As always, thank you so much for watching. Until the next one, see you later guys.